Hey, what it is, everybody? What it is? What's up? It's your boy Stu. You already know what it is. I got my co-host here right next to me.
Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is. It's your favorite two hosts in the whole world. My boy Stu, your boy AT. Man, we bringing y'all an awesome show. We got some great ladies coming on the show. They're gonna talk to y'all from their perspective. We want y'all to hear what they got to say, and we're gonna give our take as well. But today is for the ladies, so we're gonna give all the love to them. Hope y'all enjoy. Sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and let's get to it.
Like he said, man, let's get right up into it, man. Women, women. That is the topic for today. Ladies, I know how you feel. Is this person going to, be misogynistic on the show? No, we're not having none of that. So if you are a fellow watching the show, if you post anything misogynistic in the comments, if you do anything degrading towards women, I'll kick you out of here. Ain't none of that today. Today's 100% for the ladies. We're giving ladies their time to shine and honoring them. So with that being said, what is a woman? Talking about the letter W, the letter W in women stand for wise. Women are most of the time more wise than us. Let's keep it a buck. They're smarter, they're more wise than us. The O in women stands for optimistic. A woman can keep you happy. A woman most of the time really keep their man happy, keep them, like the word says, optimistic. So what does the M stand for? The M stands for magical. Yeah, I really couldn't think of nothing for the M there, but magical, because there's just some things that a woman can do that when you look, it's just like, yo, I don't know how she did it. I don't know how my mom paid the rent sometimes. I
Man,
don't know how I've seen women lift cars to get to a baby. Like some things are just magical, but that's just the power of a woman, man. The E in woman stands for elegant. Women do so many different things, and and women do everything while taking on the pressures of the world, but also do it with grace and elegance. So that's why the E in women stands for elegant, and N stands for noble, because at the end of the day, all women are queens. All women are queens. So that was each letter stands for in women: W wise, O optimistic, M magical, E elegant, N noble. So tonight, on tonight's 2 hour special, we will be talking about empowerment of women and the unfair bias they have to deal with on the daily and how they overcome it.
facts. And hey, Stu, I love the acronyms, man. Cause and my word for W was wonderful as well. Because women are just wonderful. You see what I'm saying? No
Mm-hmm.
matter no matter how bad they are treated, no matter what they go through, at the end of the day, you can always count on a woman to hold you down. You can always count on a woman to do what she got to do to make sure she make a living for her family, herself. She do all
Right.
that, as well as, like you said, wise. They're very smart,
Mm-hmm.
and they can show you things you never thought you would see. They'll show you things
Exactly.
you thought you couldn't do, but they show you can do it because they can do it. And they just that powerful. And also optimistic. That's a great one. A lot of women are very optimistic. They may have a guy who's down, and they just keep them up and like, baby, we can do this, you can do this. Or they tell their family, like, stop what you crying for, wipe your tears, you got this, keep your head up, keep pushing. Magical. I love that one because, like you said, I grew up mostly with my mom, so I don't know how she did it. She was struggling. She had three kids, me, my two
Right.
sisters, and myself, and she made a way. Like, no matter what it took, she made a way for me to get through high school, get to college, all that. She did what she had to do. I love sports so much because my mom put me in football when I was a young boy, and ever
Mm-hmm.
since then, it was a wrap. It was a wrap, and I'm here where I'm at now when it comes to sports. And elegant, I would just say, man, they just, like you said, they queens, and I always look at every female like a queen or a princess, because that's what they are, and they should be treated as such. And
Exactly.
noble
So
because they the top. They the top. I know men is everything, but they give birth. They brought me and you in this world. They noble
exactly,
for that because that's a
exactly,
long
exactly.
9 months they got to deal with, for
Man, let me
sure.
tell you, I didn't do it
But
in a
yeah,
week.
man, I'm ready for this show because, hey, I love it. I love it. I'm ready.
Hey, with that being said, as you guys see right here on the screen, this is a very special episode. We're gonna have the fans. We're gonna have you guys be able to chime in to join the show. Tell us your 2 cents. If you're a woman, just hey, if you're a woman, you want to brag about whatever. You want to brag about your weave. If you got a company you want to shout out, anything you want to do, that is the link to get on the show today. I'm going to post it here in the comments as well. Go ahead, chime into the show, join in. It's gonna be awesome. We would love to hear what you have to say, and we'd love to see your face, and just we love to interact with our fans. So moving right along, man. Aaron, bro, I know we got a couple of facts. We got a couple of things we want to talk about here
Yes,
on the
sir.
show. We want to talk about. We're gonna start off by talking about why women do not get what they deserve here, but not just here in America, like in the world. Let's be honest. In India and China, they get treated worse than they do here in America. But even still, let's not try to outshine all these
Right,
other countries.
right.
They don't get treated well here in America as well. So I know you the facts guy. You always got the facts. You do your research. So just give a couple of nuggets on for some people to let these people know what these women go through.
Say it again, man. I'm sorry. You're kind of breaking up on me.
Oh, okay. I was saying, let these people know what women go through, man. I know you the facts person, so let's drop some knowledge on our audience here.
Fact. Most definitely. Most definitely. So I was doing some digging and I came across like some statistics and some research that other people came across. I don't own rights to this information, but I got something. It said women are more likely to be victims of human trafficking. In January 2019, NPR reported this 30% uptick in human trafficking. Excuse me. Also, United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime Study found the number of girls forced into trafficking has risen exponentially, most frequently for sexual exploitation. So pretty much what that's saying is your mom, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, great grandma, whatever, they are most exposed, are most equipped to be taken and kidnapped, to be taken advantage of, for man's satisfaction, you know. And it's sad because our women are worth more than that. So I feel like we need to raise right out of that, and we should make a statement and do some things to change that. Like make sure you protecting your wife, your mom, your sisters. You need to protect them because at any moment they can be a victim of sexual trafficking, and that's very seriously where they rape them, they abuse them, all that, and that can be traumatizing. So I want to let people know like sexual trafficking is real. Like it's happening every day. Even little girls, they taking little girls and sexually abusing them and physically abusing them, or mentally, all that. So that's one thing that our women deal with. So as men and even other women, you need to be protective of women in your life or girls in your life. Men, you need to be protective of that, especially my males. Y'all supposed to be the alphas. We supposed to be the alphas. How are we gonna be an alpha if we letting our girls be taken away, kidnapped, and sexually abused and beat up and just abused in all kinds of ways? So with that, I also want to lead into for the army, female soldiers face rape and harassment all the time, and people don't know that. Smithsonian study conducted in conjunction with American military newspaper Stars and Stripes says 66% of female service members reported experiencing sexual harassment or sexual assault. And that number is way up from 27% that the Defense Department reported 4 years ago in 2015. So who knows where that number is now? So with that being said, that's another thing people gotta look at. When you're in the army, that doesn't mean you're guaranteed protection. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to have to deal with those things. And I'm talking to ladies and male. Like males, first off, if you in the military and you see something going down, you need to say something and do something about that because that's not what it is. You know, that's somebody's mom. Like I said, that's somebody's sister. That's somebody's cousin being sexually abused, assaulted, mentally abused, assaulted, beat up. That's not cool. So we need to do our part, you know, and if you see something, speak up. Don't be scared to speak up. I know you may lose your job, but at the end of the day, a life is more important than a job. You can always get a job and get money. But at the same time, this is a life being handicapped, taken for granted. And it's happening every day. Every day. And the numbers is going up. I've been looking at the numbers of trafficking just in general, and the numbers is going up every day. Kids are being kidnapped. Aunties are being kidnapped. Parents are being kidnapped. All this. So we need to say something for those who you may not be a part of it, but if you don't say something about it, then you're going to be a part of that problem because you're not bringing an eye to that situation that's going down. So with that being said, we need to do better. Me included. I need to do my part. You need to do your part. And as a whole, we need to make sure these women are little girls not being taken advantage of and kidnapped. Go
Exactly.
ahead, Steve.
That goes right into that goes right in line with Black Lives Matter, man. That goes right in line with taking care of our own. Too many times we ask all these different
Mm-hmm.
uh, governments and different societies to help take care of us. You know, we need welfare, we need food stamps, we need unemployment, which I ain't really gonna knock right now because I'm on
Mm-hmm.
unemployment, so I ain't gonna knock that too much. But
Hey.
but no, everybody looking at unemployment government handouts, but even still, we need to take care of our own. That's why I love the Black Panther Party for what it was back in the
Most
day,
definitely.
and that's what it needs to. It needs to. We need to revitalize that. We need to take care of our women is definitely the number one step because our women are so crucial. Because at the end of the day, the women is what takes care of the men. We all know it's the men who really are seen as the people who can who can push the agenda more than women. But let's not get this twisted. If it wasn't for the
Right.
women giving the men energy to even be able to speak up, the men would never speak up. The men would never even have the courage to do what they need to do to get things done the way they're supposed to get done. It was the woman behind that man, or not even behind, even beside. It was the woman giving the man the courage to do what they need to do to speak up. Because beside every great man is a greater woman, and I believe that 100%.
Most
But
definitely.
yes,
That's
we,
that's definitely true, man. Yeah, because if we don't take care of them, we can't have a kid by ourselves. We produce the
at
seed,
all, at
but who
all.
gonna receive it if there's no women to conceive that? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
at the end of the day, we have to protect them. You see what I'm saying? And that's why this not off topic, but that's why I treat my sister and my nieces respect because at the end of the day, I want a man to treat them with that same respect I give them, and I want them to
Exactly.
know what a real man or a man who's loving is there for them would do. So I try to present that every day. So when they get with a man, they know what they need to be looking for because I try to raise the bar high for the dude that come into their life.
Exactly, exactly. So I see some of y'all asking, you guys don't see the link. I'm gonna make sure I get that link to y'all here in a second. Um, but just for right now, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna come right back. We're gonna come right back, dive right back into the topic. We're gonna try to get our first guest on here, and she gonna tell us her point of view, what it's like being a woman in America. So we'll be right back right after these messages.
Welcome to the city. One more time. You ready? You know what to do. It's just so good. It's all right. It's all right right now. It's all right.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Shoot, man, y'all. It's hard trying to produce and be on the show at the same time. I'm trying to tell you, man, it's hard trying to switch up forward, but it's all right. We good. We got it back, man. Aaron, man, welcome. Glad to have you back. Aaron, I want you to go ahead and introduce our first guest of the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's my
Let me
pleasure
see. Just
and
1 second.
honor to. Okay.
Hold up. Just 1 second. Make sure everything good with that. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like we'll get it right back in just a second. She ain't here just right now. We'll get it back in just a second.
Hey, well, hey, in that case, Stu, I want to kind of give some, some positive information, to the people. I don't want to give them too much, too much stuff on the
Right. Yeah.
negatives.
Well,
I want to get them some empowering words, to give women and ladies in this world. First and
man, you go
foremost,
ahead and do that.
I want to let people know, like, a way to empower a queen or a lady is to boost her self-esteem first and foremost, because if you a friend, family member, show that woman or lady or girl that she's important. She's important to this world. She has purpose. She's good at what she do. She can get better at what she do. It's not all bad. She can do it. If she fall, tell her to get back up. Dust your shoulders off and try again. Like my girl Aaliyah said, excuse me. Aaliyah said, dust yourself off and try again. So that's what you need to tell them to do. Dust yourself off and try again. It's okay to fail. It's okay not to be, the next person because you feel like they got more than you. It's your place to be yourself and do what makes you happy. Do what you love. Work hard at what you love and have fun doing it because you can do whatever you put your mind to. And as well, shut down the negativity on these ladies. I get it. They may not always do what we want them to do, how we want them to do it, when we want them to do it. But at the same time, don't be negative about it. It's called constructive criticism. This is what you do. Just like me and Stu, we try to go back and look at our film. We like to look at the show like, what can we do better? How can we do this better? So that's what you need to do to your peers, your cousins, your family members, whoever. You need to show them that no matter what people say, you can do it. And you can do it the best you can or do it the best you can. That's all you can do. You can only be the best you. Can nobody do you like you can do you. And that's what I live by. So I'm going to tell y'all the same thing. Don't be negative about stuff. You can have your voice and opinion, but make sure you giving love and compassion when you're doing it, not to be hated, not to be a hater or to be like you better than somebody. So that's all I got for that.
Exactly. So now that we got her on here, Aaron, may go ahead and introduce our first guest. We got to make this a little bit quick. We are moving just a little bit behind schedule, but we got it. So go ahead and introduce her.
Most definitely. Today we have on the show Miss Jayla. She's a student at NC State. She's trying to get that degree. She's extra tech, and she about to talk to y'all about some knowledge she got, y'all. So welcome her into the show.
Hey everyone.
Hello, Miss Jayla.
How y'all doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right.
Can you hear us?
All right. I can hear great. Can you hear?
You gonna talk to the folks?
What y'all want? I thought I was.
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you the first question.
Okay.
What would you feel the hardest part about being a woman in America is, especially a black woman in America?
The hardest part of being a woman, period, let's start there, is that you get looked upon because men think that you can't do some certain things because you're a woman. They think that you're just supposed to be in the house and cooking and cleaning. They don't really think that you can do the jobs that they do. Like, you don't see them like as doctors, women as doctors or construction workers and stuff. They feel like those are men jobs, but women can do anything that they want to. Being a black woman, we're at the bottom of the totem pole. Like, of course, women are always less superior to the men, but then the black woman is really under them. So it's really hard just because we're black and we're women. So two negatives.
Can't be having them double negatives, man. That ain't good. A double negative does not always equal a positive.
Not in this case. Not at all.
Not in this case. No. Aaron, man, you feel you got a question? All right. Let's see. Okay. All right, well, I guess it's me and you right now. So I guess I'm at the flip side of that. So what do you think the best part of being a black woman in America is, or a woman in America? What's the best part?
I think we have an opportunity to beat all the odds. Like everyone thinks that we can't do it, and it just feels great when we succeed and we're successful. And you be like, "Yeah, that's my sister right there." So I think beating the odds and proving everyone wrong is the best to me.
And I'm all about proving people wrong. I'm the opposite of a little guy, but because I'm a big guy, I get seen as a little guy when it comes to a job stuff like that. So I understand about being the underdog and fighting them odds. Somebody who just recently fought the odds as being a black woman in America, Kamala Harris, man, she's now the vice presidential candidate for the Democratic Party. Um, I seem to get a lot same reaction out of our age. Do you know about Kamala Harris and the political state of our country right now? Before I even ask that question.
No, I don't know much about her in the politics. No, I don't.
Okay. I gotta ask because a lot of people. I ask the question, they're like, "I don't know politics. I don't follow no politics at all." And I'm well, okay, well, dang. But it's all right. I do you so you say you don't know anything about her? So you have no opinion on Kamala or the
I
pick
think
or
she's a
anything like
beautiful
that? Do you
woman.
plan on voting?
I do plan on voting.
Oh yeah, she bad. She bad. She is bad. I give you
Yeah,
that
yeah.
now. She Kamala like 55 years old, but I can tell when she was our age, she probably anyway. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. Um, so you work as a technician right now. So it's the being in the medical field is something that I personally, well, I don't personally, but I know because my mom's a medical field. That's pretty much a male driven field. Would you say
Certain departments.
certain departments? Okay. So what is it like? I guess like are there any women in high ranking positions in your field?
Well, I'm an X-ray tech, and for what I've seen so far, it's mostly women that are X-ray tech. The men that's mostly in the
Okay.
hospital are the doctors, the surgeons, and things like that. We do have
Okay.
men in our field, in the X-ray field in radiology, so it is some, but it's majority women.
Okay. So why do you think that is? Why do you think that there's not a lot of men in the X-ray field, or why do you think there's not a lot of women? I mean, there are a lot of female doctors. I know there's a lot of female doctors, but why do you think that's not female doctors don't get jobs at ERs or major hospitals?
I don't know for sure. I know that I think the reason that men aren't really like in X-ray field is because they don't know about it. I think it's not really common. You have to do your research to be like, oh, okay, those are people who take chest X-rays, so I can go
Right.
do that. So I
Right.
think it's just about not knowing. And then on the
Mm.
flip side, like why men are popular, I think it just goes back to back in the day when it was just men working. So I think it's just stuck with the culture that people just assume like that's a man's job to be a doctor, and then the woman's job is to be a nurse. So I think it's just the culture thing. I think it's just still stuck, and people are just stuck in those old ways.
Man, I feel that. I'm gonna ask one more question. We got Aaron back here. I'm gonna have him ask you a question real quick. But the question I want to ask is, and I was listening to another podcaster about a day or two ago, and her topic of the day was 50-50 relationships. And by 50-50 relationships, I mean, they go half on the rent, they go half on the food, they go half on everything. So, and people on the show, she had a bunch of ladies on the show, were giving their opinions. Do they believe in 50-50 relationships? Yes or no? So I want to ask all of my guests that come on the show today this question. Do you believe in a 50-50 relationship? If a man is, and like I said, this show is not about men, but I just wanted to get your reaction to it, just see what different women are. If you go 50-50 with a man, do you count him as a provider?
I would say we're equally providing if it's 50-50. I don't think no one outranks anyone if it's 50-50. If it's strictly 50-50, no one outranks anyone to me. I don't think.
I agree. I I can definitely agree with that. And just like I said, I brought that up because I heard so many different reactions. One of the girls' reactions were it can be 50-50, as in she does the housework and he goes to work and pay the bills. That's 50-50 because the housework is a lot by itself, especially when you got kids. So kids and
Oh,
housework is a lot. That
Right.
that is a lot. So that's 50-50. So thank you so much for your opinion on that. That
Yeah.
is something that let's see if we can get Aaron on here. I see he's struggling. Boy, you need some milk when it comes to this stuff. Boy. See him struggling trying to get on here. But it is okay. Thank you so much, Jayla, for being on the show today. I need you to get back to work. Don't have nobody die trying to be on our show
I'm saving lives every day.
every day. Well, you saving my show right now, so thank you. And
You're
we'll
welcome.
love to have you on again another time.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. And that was Jayla Royster. Let's see. See, I see you here. I see you here. Okay, we got you back. I don't know what it is, but now we got you. Got you. Can you hear me now? Aaron, we got you.
I it's crazy. I can't. It's going in and out. Like I could barely hear y'all talking. Like I could barely hear anything. I don't know what it is, man. I gotta
Man, well,
get it right. I'm waiting for my tablet to come in. So I mean,
like I said, man, we're gonna get you right, man. We're gonna get right. It was a great interview though. Jayla had a really great interview and it was just awesome. So she had a lot of good things to say. Sorry, family behind me. You know how that is. But I'm glad you back because you the person that got all the notes and got everything that we need to know. Real quick though, I got a couple things that we want to discuss as we wait for our next guest to come on. Um, we're gonna talk about feminism a little bit and the pros and cons that we think. Something that uh the feminism party or the feminism movement talks about. So, how do you feel about feminism first and foremost?
say it again, boss.
I was saying, how do you feel about feminism? Like, do you feel like it's? I mean, I ain't gonna try to put that inside your head. Like, how do you feel about feminism, the movement?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with this. First off, feminism is an effort to make sure every woman and every individual has rights equals to that of a cis white man, no matter their race, religion, gender, identification, sexual preference, or anything else. So, that
Right.
being said, I I definitely love feminism. Based off this definition, I can roll with that. Because feminism means like it is to give all women rights to
Mm-hmm.
whatever may it be, jobs, opportunity in sports, in the workforce. It means giving them opportunity to be successful, just like me and you. Just not because of their race, like I said, their religion, base, whatever, whatever you may say to kind of decide if they can be, it shouldn't be based off appearance, none of that. So I definitely support the feminist movement if that's what it's about. If it's not about that, and if it's about anything negative and to not bring awareness to what the whole purpose of feminism is, then I can't support that. But feminism itself, I can support that. So if that's what it's about, I can definitely roll with that because I want my mom to have the same opportunity as I have going for a coach job. I want my sister to have the same opportunity have if I'm playing basketball to make a basketball team at the school. So I
Right.
would definitely say I support that because no matter the gender, you should have equal qualities as the next man, just as much. And that's what a lot of females don't get. A lot of females don't get those same opportunities we get. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely support that 100%.
Yeah, I definitely agree that when it comes to America, I was just watching, I guess, another talk show. My mom here about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and we were talking about the education system. We were talking about uh, black people in the education system and how the education system, just like almost everything else in America, is rigged for black people not to succeed. Of course, there are going to be people who slip through the cracks and end up becoming really great scientists and theologists and therapists and all those other great things. But at the end of the day, the public school system is not really designed for black people to succeed. And what I didn't know is that there's a test that all teachers have to take, and all teachers have to pass this test. And if anybody listens to my podcast right now, if you're a teacher, you know about this test. I forgot the name of it, but there's a test that you have to take before you can even get your teaching licenses. And a lot of black people do not pass this test because it's not really geared to the black culture. And I find it crazy that there are so many great teachers, male and female, that get passed up. Now, a lot of black females pass it, but for a lot of black men, they don't pass it. And so it was a study shown that students are
Hmm.
30% more likely to go on, graduate, and have a good, successful life rather than go to jail or anything like that if they have somebody in the teaching field who looks and acts like them, or who looks like them, not act like them, who looks like them. So, for instance, if me and you were in school, we 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, we in kindergarten, first grade. What the study is saying is if we have a black male teacher, because we are black males, we are more likely to want to finish school, to want to graduate, because now we have somebody to look up to. We had, let's just call him Mr. Robinson. Mr. Robinson was our first grade teacher. Well, guess what? Hey, Mr. Robinson, man, my dude, man, he was my first grade teacher. I don't even like Mr. Robinson. So now you have motivation. But if every year I go to school and I have, you know, who Mr. Gessick and all these other, white and European people, well, there's no representation. For a lot of people, me and you went to Livingstone. For a lot of people, the first time they had a black teacher was when they stepped on the
Hmm.
campus of Livingstone. You know, and that ain't cool because that doesn't show representation of black people in
Yep.
public school systems. You shouldn't have to go all the way up to college before you get to your first black teacher. So, and so the school system is definitely something that needs to be changed. The system is something that once we get done with the Black Lives Matter movement, we need to get onto the school system and make it more free and fair for everybody. Hey, but with that being said, we got our next guest here. Moved right on into what I was talking about with education. Um, we have a guest here who's I've been waiting to have this lady on the show for a long time. I've been waiting to have her on the show for a while, but she's super busy. She's probably the busiest person I've ever met in my life. Okay, but on the show today, she's a higher education administrator, and she is dedicated, super dedicated, most dedicated person I've ever seen to encouraging, inspiring others to strive and reach their goals. She inspires me every time I talk to her. But today we have Dr. Michelle Rose Mon. Hello, how are you today?
Very good. Thank you. Hi there, Junior, King, and Jayla. I got your numerous emails with instructions. So hopefully you can see me okay because I was hoping I was going to use my MacBook, but it didn't work on the MacBook. But you're correct. I'm
You
happy to
know,
inspire others, and it's okay. The technology thing is what it is. How can I help you all today? What kind of questions you have for me?
well, Aaron, I asked almost all the questions last time. I have a couple questions, but do you have a question for Miss Rosemont while she's here? Guess not. Okay, so yeah, we always have technology issues on his side. Okay,
Hmm.
but can you see me? Can you see me well?
Yep, I see you just fine.
Okay, okay. My first question for you is, what made you want to go into the higher education field?
For me, I didn't even know I fell in love with higher ed until I started looking for my first role. When I
Mm-hmm.
started, interviewing many, many years ago. And believe it or not, I got my first opportunity at the University of Maine, and I would meet a phenomenal woman who was the director of housing. And she asked me one question. She says, and at the time I was Michelle, she said, Michelle, how would you promote learning and inspiring students outside of the classroom? And when she asked me that question, and of course I gave her the real smart answer, and I had to research it. But while I was doing the research is when I discovered my love for higher education and passion started while I was a student at the University of Florida. And I share that story is because when I was at University of Florida, which is a very good school, lots of students, but I didn't have the guidance. I kind of was hanging out there on the set, you know, doing my thing with Greek life and just really enjoying the outside of the classroom experience. But it wasn't until many years later when I got my first interview and I realized, wow, young people need adults or need peer mentors who are aware that hanging out in the set, getting ready for the Friday parties are not the only part of the college experience. And that's when I've decided for over 20 years that for me, I know that life about the outside of the college, you know, classroom experience, but I also know it's important for me to get in there and connect students because when they come in for that degree. And so it's been a journey trying to plug myself in their lives in every which way possible. I have mentored undergraduate students. I have mentored master's level students, doctoral students. I have mentored women who are older than I am. And I would say to them, like, you're coming to me for help. So that's what inspires me to keep growing and keep learning. And that's why I see you're laughing. And trust me, that was me too. I remember going to a gym class. I'm an avid fitness person. And a woman who was probably 15 years older than I came to me and said, how would I approach looking for a job at my age? And this was the first time this sister was going to be on the job market. She was a very affluent woman, but went through a divorce. So she had to, reimagine her life. But I'm going to tell you what, I was so engrossed in the research about women, women in careers, women in the labor markets, the transitions, the pain points, challenges, and barriers. Because I was familiar with that research, although I laughed and cracked up initially, because seriously, she was older than me. I mean, she was like, 15 years older than I was, but she was so hungry for the knowledge. And so the universe had guided her my way, and therefore the mentoring could begin. Yeah. So
Okay.
What else is on your mind? What are you?
So Aaron's co-host on the phone. Look. Oh well, I'm gonna have my co-host. He's gonna ask you a question. He's on the phone. We couldn't get him on the live stream, but he's here. He's here on the phone, so you won't be able to see him, but you can hear him. Okay, and he's gonna ask you the next question.
Thank you.
All right. First of all, how you doing, Miss Queen?
Very good, thank you. Doing well.
Awesome. I mean, I'm sorry I was hearing issues over this way. So, what's your name again, ma'am?
My students call me Dr. Rosie. You're welcome to call me Michelle. Whatever you're comfortable with, that's fine.
Okay. Miss Michelle. So, my first question would be, in your profession, what are some obstacles that took you to get there? But I know, it's not always easy, get to where you're trying to get to. So what are some obstacles that you had to get across to get to where you are?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I appreciate the opportunity to share that. It's so funny because, now I'm telling people I'm living my, my best life like it's golden, you know, a little bit of Jill Scott reference, hashtag golden. And I tell people, you know what, it took me a while to even recognize the obstacles. I think in my 20s, you know, I just didn't know. I was just so excited. I had a vision, I had a dream, and you know that kept me going. But I would hit these stumbling blocks, whether it would be financial, whether it would be access or trying to network, and I could feel the frustration. And at probably in my mid-20s, I was really angry. Then the best thing happened to me. I would end up working at a Research One university, which is one of the top 10 in the nation. And then I stumbled into research. I also stumbled into the best sorority in the world, Delta Sigma Theta, and all the wonderful mentors, right? All the mama mentors, the big sister mentors. And these women were vice presidents. They were researchers. They were scholars. So you can imagine like the frustration I had experienced in my 20s. I didn't have anyone to really process that with. But when I met these, you know, older sorors and older women who was also PhDs, business entrepreneurs, presidents, I would just get around them and ask them questions. And they would look at me like, what is she talking about? Because I was first gen. So that means my family is the first to come in this country. So many of them, we're talking about African American sisters who are second, third, fourth, fifth generations legacies. So I didn't have that kind of cultural capital like they did. But what I did have was a passion, and I brought a work ethic that they simply fell in love with me and put me to work. And the more I worked, the more I demonstrated what I knew. And they kept giving me opportunities to grow. But that's not without challenges. Because now you're getting more opportunities, you're going up the ladder, and now you're getting not only racism, sexism, maybe classism, and in my case, sometimes colorism. So I'm sitting there scratching my head, and I was like, wait, what? Is that really happening to me? And also, too, I think part of getting through the challenges, I have to share that you got to have a spiritual framework. It wasn't enough for me to know about Black feminist theory. It wasn't enough for me to know about social stratification, intersectionality. You know, I come from a family who's Christian, although I embrace everybody wherever you at in your spiritual walk and framework. I found that it was very important to have that, whether it's a support group from the church, you know, church family. So that was really important. So by my 30s, I'm getting more wisdom and more access. But like they tell you, the more access, probably, you know, you heard May say it, more money, more problems. I didn't have the money, but I still had the problems and the access. So in my 50s, what I look at, you know, now that, you know, God has really blessed the sister, but, you know, it has to be to a place where, you know, your anointing has to keep you. When I look at it now, and I look back, and this is where hopefully you've grown a lot and you're able to mentor others. So when I see the challenges now, I'm seriously cracking up. The young people who come to me, or the young women, they're like, well, so-and-so, you know, threw shade at this. And I'm laughing, right? Because, you know, there's always going to be some haters, because that's how you know you're doing it right. See, in my 20s, I was afraid of that, right? Because I wanted everybody to like me and be like, yeah, go Dr. Rosie, go Michelle, go. You're not going to get that. Sometimes the best compliments you get are from the haters, because if you wasn't doing it so well, they wouldn't be like, Hillary Clinton says, you're living rent free in their heads, right? So these are some of the ways I get through the challenges. At midlife, I'm no longer afraid of it. It doesn't rattle me. I start to look back like, damn, I've seen that before. I can't believe you showed up again. So now I'm giving young people the secret sauce, the tips. Because seriously, in the 20s, I was fired up. In my 30s, I was hungry for wisdom. In midlife, and I'm like, man, we still going through that? And so it gives me the ability to stay strong. I tell people I try to occupy a space at the table so I could be that light. Don't get me wrong, I still got a lot coming at me. If you ever watch like, football and you trying to run down the end zone and people are tackling you, and sometimes they tackle, sometimes
Yep.
I get a fumble, but I have to remind myself, say, all right, how do I protect the space? Because some young person is watching me. Some young person wants to be a vice president tomorrow. Some young person wants to be a director. They want to publish books. And so, in addition to that, I make sure how I handle the challenges. I eat well, I eat lots of vegetables. I eat my fruits. I do yoga. I do about 3 miles a day, because I think if you're gonna go against the grain, if you're gonna go against the isms, you gotta protect the mind and the body as you navigate that space.
Very true. Me and free keep mind intact, mind, because the mind is the most crucial thing. I'm working on my body. Aaron got the body part down. I don't. I don't. I'm working on the body, but we both keep our mind tight, and that's something that I know that you have already got down packed. Another question that I have for you personally. Well, two more questions. I think two more questions. One more, but the one more main question. The other one's just a fun question. You spoke on colorism, which is actually an episode that we had a couple of weeks ago. Colorism is something that a lot of people don't think is a big deal, but and I guess in your field, the education field, a lot people really want to think colorism is maybe something that holds people back in education. But tell us your story of maybe things of where you either were postponed or you were held back or you were, I guess, put over somebody else just because of skin color.
Well, I mean, I think, if you're living in the world we live in, where honestly, most of the time you're either looking for a male leadership or you're looking for somebody from the status quo, then when I do research on that, one of the things that helped me keep persisting and pursuing, what I felt like was the universe had for me, the light, my path, my calling, is you have to understand, you have to get the wisdom. You really got to understand the knowledge. Because when you're faced with it, then you realize you can say, okay, well, I know what I'm dealing with, but I also know who I am. That always comes back in a lot of
Mhm.
Afrocentric communities. One of my good friends is joking, when I forget who I am, because sometimes I'm tired, she says, remember the movie Lion King? And then I think one of the cartoon characters says, remember who you are, right? And so when I come
Yeah, that was
against,
Rafiki.
yeah, right, Rafiki. So for me, again, in my 20s, I probably handled it different than I did in my 30s, than I'm doing it now that I'm living golden, right? But the thing you have to understand is you really foremost got to know who you are. And I fell in love probably in my mid 30s. That Donnie McClurkin song, "When you fall down, you get back up." Because
Mm.
think about it,
Wow.
and so you reason you want to get back up. Don't get me wrong; it's going to knock you down. But like my dad used to say, if you stay down, you know how the story ends. So I admonish you to make it 2 hours, cry, get angry, and get back up. So dad would teach us that, and of course Donnie embodied that in a song. So whichever ism I'm facing, classism, racism, sexism, colorism, it may hit me and knock me down, but once your roots get strong, then you really find a way to get back up. Because then if you don't get back up, then you got to remember, I forget which rapper, that all eyes on me. But the reality is, you got to think there are people out there whose eyes are on me, and they're saying, if she figured it out, then maybe I will too, right? And so that's how
Very
I
true.
get through
Very
those
true.
challenges.
Okay. I got one more question, and Aaron, if you got one more, then we'll have you ask one. But my last question for you would be when you talk to another woman, whether it's a younger woman or older woman, um, what is something that you try to like? Me personally, I'm at the stage where I just discovered the Willie Lynch letter, and I try to tell people about it and how mind opening it is. So that's something I push about, especially to the Black culture, to free their mind. What is something that you try to push to every female that you meet to help them get through the American life?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was a single mother for many years. I mean, I was the epitome of that woman who was raising a family, going to school, making sure my skills were relevant to the market, and also going to grad school and working full time. So I would tell women, you have to find a way to balance all that. The years when I was a full-time parent, working full-time in grad school, that probably wasn't the years I was a director or, an executive director. Because for me, it kind of competed with the goals of my household. So I tell folks, you can have
Right.
everything you want. You might not be able to have it all at the same time. It's kind of like a salad, right? You might be able to eat the lettuce and the tomato, but I promise you, if you stuff your mouth with the whole salad, you might not like the outcome, right? So I try to have women take a look at their lives, take a look at the lives of their children, or if there is a spouse involved, what is happening in the lives of everybody involved? Because you're basically the quarterback in the ball. Women tend to
Right.
be very central in their households. People depend on them, whether they are in the immediate family or maybe family. Not so. I forget the word for it, but we tend to be very central. But I tell women, you want to know how everybody is doing. What are they doing? Because that will also determine what you're capable of doing. But one of the things I wasn't so good at was the self-care piece. I think sometimes we do have too much on our plate.
Mm.
And so many years ago, I started moving away from the superwoman syndrome because I discovered the superwoman syndrome. You could be really super dead if you're not careful. And so your self-care is critical.
Okay.
Self-care is critical.
Very critical.
Asking for help is critical. Forming good support systems is critical. And also being okay keeping toxic people at bay. The years where I was working on my PhD, there were some people I was like, you know what? I'll see you in about 6 years. And sure enough, when I was done, they were right where I left them. Right? So I think it has to be a balance. Do your self-care. Understand your household. And get some support systems in place so you can manage what you have, and so this way you can be alive to see the fruit of your labor, because that's the piece that's critical. And I do want to share one thing with you too. In my late 20s, I got to be honest with you, although my mind was right to some degree, but I had some other struggles too. I did struggle with my exercise plan. It takes a while to get there. Again, that's why I said in my 20s, I was somebody else, just emerging and becoming my best self. So don't give yourself some self-love and be compassionate and forgiving to yourself, because again, it's a journey. And as you start making the little changes, they start adding up like a stock portfolio. And one day when you're golden, you're gonna be like, yeah, she was right. She told me I would get here. So that's my message to you. You'll get here.
All right. Aaron, you got one more question for Miss Rosemont while we still got her?
Yes, man. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for joining the show, and thank you for the information you gave us. It was really great, and I hope everybody listened because you had some awesome points that they didn't hear, especially when you said you need to focus on, loving yourself first and foremost, because if you don't love yourself, you ain't gonna want to take care of yourself, and then you ain't gonna want to, move on in life for yourself to do better. And secondly, they need to make a good support system and people around them and people on the same surface as them, or people on the same level, a frame of mind to where they want to do something better for themselves and the people around. So, with that being said, I just want to ask you, do you feel like, from an older perspective, do you feel like women don't get equally treated as they should in fields and just in general?
Aaron, could you repeat that? You were breaking up for me. You said something about, do you feel that women don't get treated like they...
Oh, I'll repeat. It is breaking up. He asked you, do you feel older women or just women in general do not get treated as fairly or equally just because they're women?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, gentlemen, that's a really good concept and question. Again, think about it. We wouldn't have these issues around isms if everybody was treated equally, right? If equity is across the board, then I wouldn't feel the pain and have to come back and tell the story. So you can imagine, I think isms, if you want to break it down, is the pain of the collective saying I need equity. But the good news is, while there are pain, people are persistent in saying I do matter, and I'm going to find a way to make my voice heard, and I'm going to add, right? So for me, one of the things people know me, I'm really good in what I do in research and analytics. And as a woman, when I come to that space, woman or not, I want to make sure I am the most talented. I have the latest information and the cutting edge information. Now, what they'll probably say is like, damn, she's really a badass. And you know what? And that's okay, right? Because again, for me, I understand that there are inequities. I cannot deny that there are isms. But what I try to do is be so awesome, so amazing, like the most God on high says I am. So when I come into that space, my knowledge is a shield. You know what I'm saying? It's like the superheroes, right? You trying to throw those pellets at them, but the knowledge for me is the shield that says bring it. And when I bring it, then you have to respect me for what I am, the value I bring. So to your answer, yes, there are going to be problems out there. Women, pardon?
No, what were you saying, Aaron?
Most definitely. I was just gonna say, just kind of feedbacking off her. She made me bring up another question. So
okay.
with that being said,
last question, man. Last question.
All right. Say less. Do you feel like it's not so women are treated more so that when they pursue something or put themselves in the bowl of options, they don't do certain things to put them up to standard, but they just they don't really show that they're willing and fitting for that position or whatever.
I only heard part of that. Junior, could you give me the last part of it if you don't mind?
Figure out how to I guess how to redirect that. I mean, okay, so
pretty much, Stu, what I'm saying is, with her saying what she said, do she feel like, all right, to brief it, like if a woman come and show out, at the end of the day, no matter what they are, they're gonna get to where they're trying to go. That's pretty much what I'm asking.
Yeah. No,
okay. Okay. Are you saying okay?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Miss Michelle.
Aaron, I hear you. I think again, like I opened the story, is you're gonna have to be persistent. You know, if you're gonna make it to the end zone, right? It's like a good football game. And the reality is, you know, in that first quarter, you might have a struggle, but what did we learn from that? And then they go in the huddle during halftime and they come back better and stronger during the third quarter. And then the fourth quarter, my goodness, they're going to bring it, right? I use sports metaphors even as a woman because I think the world understands that. It is going to be tough. And I'm going to tell you what, Aaron, what I did hear from your question too, is even as a woman, if you excel and you do bring it, somebody is still going to find problems with that, right? But remember I said earlier too, that's a kind of like a backhanded compliment. Like, okay, why are you mad? Because you should be celebrated. But sometimes, like I said, your haters aren't going to always recognize, but that's a good sign for you. That's a temperature check that you're doing pretty well. And at the end of the day, here's what I hear too, is I want to, you know, leave these parting words. You have to know that the applaud you give yourself, the applaud that comes from within, that is the applaud that should really ground you, because you got to be careful when you start looking for the applaud from other people, because what happens when they're no longer applauding? If you're measuring your value by other people's applaud, you got to ask your question, what happens when they stop? That's why I said you got to have your own goals. You got to know where you're going. You got to knock and ask people who have done it. Because for you, when you take a barometer check, whether you do it nightly or weekly, you're doing a temperature check saying, have I accomplished the goals I wanted to accomplish? Am I moving my life in the right direction? Am I meeting the right people and the right connects to get me to the end zone? And if I am, that's the applause that you wanna hear.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. That was awesome. That's all I got for today. I love to hear it.
And thank you, Miss Michelle, for coming on the show and just spreading your wealth and your knowledge to all of my listeners. You know, as me, you know that a lot of my listeners are younger generation, younger people. And so they will all benefit from the things you said today. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you can follow me on Libra Doctor on Instagram, Libra Doctor 0926. If you want to continue the conversations, I'm happy to do it. I'm also on Twitter at Roseman Wellness. It's WELNES. I ran out of characters, but you know, young people, stay strong, stay encouraged, please stay healthy, because when I retire, I'm ready to pass that baton, but I need you to stay strong, stay healthy, and keep learning. Don't give up.
Man, I should just show off for that, but I could end it right there.
I'm telling you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Michelle. We would love to have you on again another time.
Thank you. Take good care. Bye-bye.
All right. Up, looks like I let it go before. Okay, so I don't know what happened to my camera, but it seems like you guys still can hear me. Let me see if I can get my camera back. See if I can still get my camera back. Let's see. Come on, camera. There we go. Okay, we back. So that was Miss Michelle Rosemont, or Dr. Michelle Rosemont. I'm so sorry about that. You guys see what I see. Why she's so influential in my life. I've known her for a while. I've known her for most of my life, actually. And she's just been one of those people who just always fed into me and kept me smart, kept me in the books, and kept me going. So I wanted to share her knowledge with you guys, because I'm tired of holding all this knowledge to myself. I need other people to be smart too, you know.
Exactly.
I can't walk around with people all the time. So this shows to help spread the knowledge so everybody can have a chance to do better. So Aaron, man, we're gonna skip the commercial because it seems like the commercial's not working for some reason. We're gonna talk for the rest of the show. Right? We're gonna take this time as we wait for our last guest to come on. We're gonna take the time to go we're talking to you guys, audience. If you guys would like to come on the show, share your experiences. If you guys want to talk about how you don't like how some things are unfair, if you guys want to talk about women's rights in the workforce, women's views in America, if you guys want to talk about anything like that, now is the time. Go ahead and click that link right there in the comments, in the description, and join the show. We're gonna put you on. We're gonna ask you, hey, what first and foremost, what would you like to say? And we're gonna open up. We're not gonna stop you. We're not gonna hinder anybody from talking. We want to hear what you guys got to say. So go ahead, click that link, join the discussion today, because we really want to. This is your time to shine here on the Brothers of the Truth podcast. But while we sit there, we wait for these people to join the show. Aaron, man, so my favorite thing about what she said, and it just hit me. Besides, she always has a lot of good nuggets. But the one thing I like that she said was, when you look for somebody else's approval, when you look for glory from somebody else, you must then also ask yourself, what happens when that stops? What happens when they start denying me? For people who know the Bible, what happened when my Judas then gives me a kiss on the cheek? What happens then? For people who don't know, Judas kissing Jesus, that was a signal to the Romans of who Jesus was. That's how he betrayed Judas. For people who may not know the Bible. So, Aaron, man, what you think about what she's had to say about that, man? Some people might betray you. They might give you that kiss on the cheek. They might snitch you out to the cops, whatever the case may be. How do you feel about people when people do turn on you?
Hey, that's a big one. And as soon as you said that, it made me think of a situation with an athlete who was a fellow Blueberry. I don't pronounce his name because I don't want to, I'm trying to think about him. But it was this guy, a fellow Blueberry. He was a top athlete at Livingstone. He had records and all kind of things. And he got into some trouble. He got into some trouble with the law, whatever. And I want to go back. When he was going to use a basketball player. I'll give that out. It's not too much, but he was a basketball player. He did some things. He shined his light, on the court. Everybody at the game tight, cheering for him. He got people on campus. Oh, he all that. He this and that. But when this man makes a mistake, all those followers go away. All those supporters you thought you had goes away because you're not that shining star they portrayed you to be. They portrayed him to be a perfect person, a great athlete, playing the best team. He was all this. And he made mistakes. People turn their back on him. And that's a perfect example of you gotta do it for yourself. You gotta love yourself regardless of the limelight and the shine and the praise you get. Because at the end of the day, people who will support you, they'll be your biggest fan when you doing all this, and you best what you do, whatever. So when people fall down, then where they gonna go? Who's those people gonna be there to pick you up when you fall down?
Exactly.
My thing is, those same people that were supporting him and applauding him, and you this and that, and telling him he this and that while he was doing what he was doing. Those should have been the same people who, when he failed, was like, okay, it's all good. You made a mistake. I understand you doing it. Here's a support you. You're a little bit. You failed. We're gonna make sure you build regardless. You didn't kill nobody. You didn't rape nobody. So you can come back from that. Because that's a different story. I ain't gonna lie. If you a killer and you raping people, then yeah, people need to talk about you. But that's just not what it is.
Right.
That's not what it is. But you made a mistake. They got in trouble. So, that's a prime example, though. To me, that's a prime example of how people will turn their back on you no matter how good you are at what you do. Just like Tiger Woods for another, I love sports. So, for another example, Tiger Woods was one of the greatest golf players ever, African American male. He made a mistake. People turned their back on him once he made that mistake. And that's just how it is, because especially as African American, I'm a little biased because I'm African American, so I'm kind of leaning in that direction. But that goes for everybody as a whole. Like, if somebody make a mistake, on them, pick them up, you know, because people do certain things under circumstances that they're like,
Right.
they may not can, you know, need something, they may rob a store or something, you know, but that may not show somebody's character. That may actually shine a light on their character that they want to do what they got to do to survive and live and protect their family. You know, look, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. You don't get the wrong disclaimer. I'm not saying it's right. But at the same time, people get in certain predicaments in this lifetime that we live in now, to where they feel like they got to do whatever they need to do. Just like you get rich and not trying. They're going to do whatever they do. They can do it, get rich.
Exactly.
So that's pretty much where I'm at on that. That's the best way I can kind of explain it from my point of view about what she said, for real, because that really hit home, you know, because that's something we see every day.
All right. Hey, with that being said, man, we got our next guest in the lobby. Oh no, she's went away. She was just here. What happened?
Oh no!
No, she literally was right there, and I was like, "Oh man, okay." Oh, she back. Okay. So, with that being said, why don't you go ahead and introduce our next guest? She just popped back on here. You know her, and go ahead and introduce her. So,
yes. Okay, so all our wonderful listeners, I want to bring in our next guest, Miss Lala. She's a student at Bowie State. She played volleyball, and we got acquainted because she was a member of SAC. So we got close. So welcome, Miss Lala, on the stage.
Hi.
hello, Miss Lala. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are y'all? How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. It's having a little bit trouble seeing you, but it's okay. Is that your hair?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm on my way home from a video shoot. We had to stop and get something to eat, but yeah, here I am.
She out here shooting videos and stuff, man. We talking to a celebrity over here. Okay. Well, in that case, we ain't gonna waste too much of your time. We know you're busy.
Oh,
No, I'm just playing. Aaron, man, go ahead and ask your first question, man.
Most definitely. So, Miss Lala, today on our show, we discussing empowering women and the unfair treatment that they receive opposed to males. So, with that being said, my first question to you is, why do you feel that women don't get that equal treatment that males do? Are they get treated, you know, not the way they should?
Man, they think because first of all we're females, they think that automatically we're weak, we're too sensitive. And we're too sensitive to do, you know, like the high corporate jobs, like lawyer jobs, and they just think that we're not capable of doing what we're supposed to do. Like they think that because like we act on emotions, they think that we can't get a job done.
Right.
And that's definitely not true, because our president is acting on emotion right now.
Exactly.
Everything he do is acting. So now that we see,
It's that stereotype.
You do. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like people think that we won't get the job done, but women are taking over right now. Women are definitely taking over, and that's because
All right.
we're handling our business. We got goals, we got
Exactly.
agendas just like men do, and we're here. So
Right.
we're breaking that
No.
stereotype pretty good.
Okay, so the next question I have for you is, like you said, women are taking over right now. We're about to have a woman vice president. If you guys go out there and vote, make sure you guys go out and vote. We cannot have 40% of the country not go out and vote again. Sorry, I had to put that out there. A little disclaimer. That made me upset when I found out 40% of the country did not vote. Make sure you guys go. Okay, now back to what I was saying. Women are taking over. We're about to have a female vice president. So, in your point of view, where did this, I guess, movement start? I guess where women just started taking over everything.
I feel that this happened like over the course of like years, because it started, first of all, it started when women was given the right to vote. That's where it started. And then it just kind of went from there. You know, you had women who took over the entertainment business. You had women that took over the political side of things. We had women, you know, who now can, you know, be in the military. Because there was a point in time when all women can do is they can serve as nurses. They can, you know, be housewives. But I feel like this kind of evolved over the course of years and over like each decade. And now, like I said, it's all about women. It's all about women right now. Yeah, that's how I
Hey,
feel.
well, it's always all about been about women to me because I love me my ladies.
You know, we all got mothers, we all got sisters, we all got aunties, we got grandmothers. You know, we got them all, and we just got to learn how to just really appreciate them because there's people out there who don't, so they forget that.
Can't forget it, Aaron. Man, you got another question for the lovely Miss Lala?
Most definitely, most definitely. So I'm gonna kind of go off with what Stu was talking about as far as the government and Kamala Harris. Sorry if I got that wrong. Kamala Harris running. I went over some statistics and I did some research, and it was talking about how women are underappreciated in the government. They say women are 51% of the population, but only 25% of the Senate, 23% of the House, and worldwide, just 24% of all national parliamentarians, were females as of February 29th. How do you feel about that as a woman? Like, what's your perspective on that?
Personally, I'm not like really into politics like that, but based off of the statistics, I just think that just needs to change. I think that the government and even just like in politics in general, they're still at that mindset where men have to be president, vice president, and they have to be the ones running the government. But the thing is that like they're underestimating us just a little bit. Not even a little bit, a lot. Like they're
Not even a little bit.
a lot. Like they're really underestimating us. Like they like, for example, right now, Trump, perfect example. He's a man making all these irrational decisions, like tweeting on like Twitter. That's something females do. That's some female stuff. They be the ones out there tweeting off the top of their head. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a man doing that. So it's
Yeah.
like it's almost like a double standard. Like they think just because like you don't see men doing it doesn't mean that they can't do it too. So I just think that just needs to change. That just needs
It
to
definitely
change.
does change, man. I'm glad you brought those statistics, Aaron, because it's something I heard about a week or two ago. A lot of these politicians, we don't have black people as a whole don't have great representation in politics a lot.
Mm-mm.
Out of the House, the Senate, and the executive branch, we probably have a total of 50 people. Out of a total of 100, I mean, we'll probably have like 100 people out of 400 positions, and that's not something that's okay. I mean, we need to be equally represented. If the black people in America, if we are 13% of this country, then we need to be represented as 13% of this country, in
Right.
everything that goes on. Women need to hold more positions in politics. That's why I love Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. That's my new wife. That's my new bae. If you don't know who she is the new senator from New York. And Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. If you don't know who she is and you don't like politics, you need to tune into her and just watch what she do. She'll make you like politics because she's attacking these rich white people because that's what they are. They're all these rich white people who are trying to take over this country or trying to keep a hold of this country. I'll take it over.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So my last question for you, and I think Aaron got one more, but my last question for you is, I was talking to Jayla earlier, and I was listening to a podcast 2 days ago, and they were talking about 50-50 relationships.
Mm-hmm.
By 50-50, I mean like the man goes to work, he works, he makes the money, he does whatever, and the woman stays home. Or the man works and the woman works, but they pay for half of everything. What's
Yeah,
your
like
point of
strawberry
view
and
on
tropical
a
berry.
50-50 relationship? Do you feel that if you pay 50-50, that your man's not providing for you?
I think that, like you said, it should be like a relationship in general should be 50-50. One person should not have to provide more than the other. And that's just a fact. Like, I know, like, men automatically they want to be able to provide, but let's be real, they're not gonna be able to provide all the time, 100% of the time. And the woman is, so you got to be able to put your pride to the side and put up. Like I just think it's a 50-50 thing, in my opinion. I think it's 50-50, and that's how it should always be.
Okay.
That's all I say. That's all I gotta say about that.
Hey, it's okay. Okay, you short-winded. That's good. We just got done with a long-winded person, so it kind of counteracts with time and stuff. So that's good. That's good. Aaron, man, you got another thing to say for Ms. Lala?
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, hearing her talk. I was just thinking, so how have you experienced like bias against yourself? Like, what is your personal experience dealing with bias towards women? Have you had a personal experience with that?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question again? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Are you fine? He said, "Have you ever experienced bias because you're a woman?"
Um. mm, Not really. That's crazy. Like for me to be a woman, you would think that you would experience something like that, but personally, no. I think I got the opposite because of how like physically strong I am, and I can't really explain it. Like me being an athlete and me being like physically strong, I like men can see I'm able to do what they can do. So I actually get the opposite reaction. So I always get the, oh, okay, I see you, because I think now we're at a generation where they're starting to appreciate women who can do that. But I mean, I gotten biased reaction based off of my race, but not necessarily like me being a woman. I guess, like, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
It makes perfect
you
sense.
definitely do. Right. Okay.
I know this. Oh, my bad, Aaron. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say thank you for your time. Thank you for your answer. I would love to hear it.
Of
Oh,
course. Thank you so much. Sorry, my answers went really really long. It's just I mean, this is my first podcast, so I'm just like I don't know, um,
well, shoot,
but I
it don't gotta be a last. It does not have to be a last. We love to have you on here again. Yeah, it ain't that hard. You answering the questions, giving your honest opinion. Now, we're gonna let you enjoy the rest of your day because you just got done shooting, and we want you movie stars
oh,
to enjoy the rest of your time.
yes, thank you guys so much for having me, and I hope you guys have a good evening. Enjoy yourselves.
All right, bye bye.
And you too,
Bye.
you too.
All right, and that was Lala. We love having younger people, and as you guys see, we have younger generations, we have older generations on the show. We like to have a good mix. We like to have everybody on the show, so people can come on and see, that what we just saying, it ain't just for us. It ain't just for the young generation. We got people up here. We want to get the knowledge from the older generation. I've had my brother come on. He's not that much older than us. Uh, but I say us because looking at the analytics of my show, the oldest person that's seen my show so far has only been like 30, I think 34 max. So us young people need to get out and do things that affect, because we're next up. We in the bullpen. So we about to run this country, y'all. I know so many people already raising kids. We're already raising kids and starting families. So now it's time for us to change America. Then by changing America, we will then change the world by changing our own selves and the way we think. And so that's what this whole podcast is about. Ain't that right, Aaron?
Hey, you hit the nail on the head, as well as spread the truth and knowledge, like you said, which leads to bettering these following generations coming up. Because we want our leaders to be our leaders now, to know what they need to do, to teach the ones coming under them to be better people and to be better humans to make this country great. You know, because like Trump said, he talking about make America great again. Nah, we're gonna make America greater than what it's been. That's what we gonna do.
I like how you did that. Like you did that.
Hey, Stu, I'm trying a little something.
A little something.
Yeah. But if you don't have anybody who want to join in and spread their and do their little self appreciation praise, I want to kind of lead back into some more empowering words for our women.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm gonna give it a little shout out. Get him a shout out real quick. Like my co-host just said, we got a couple more minutes on the show. If you guys want to empower yourselves, if you guys want to have a shout out, you guys want to shout yourself out. If you want to come on the show just to say, "Hey, I'm better looking than you," whatever it is, come on, hop on. Like, come on, hop on. The link is right there in the description box below. It's in the description box and it's also in the comments. Click on that link, join the show, and tell us what you got to say. But while we wait for y'all to make up y'all mind, Aaron, go ahead, man. Give me some more nuggets, bro.
Most definitely. My next thing was I need people to lead by example. Whether it be me to my sisters or whether it be my sister to her sister. You need to lead by example, and not just an example. Show a good example, because not all examples are good examples. I can be a bad influence, and that can be an example to my nieces and my nephew. That can be a bad example. So with that being said, that whole message is be a good example to the people coming under you. Sometimes, even being a younger person, you may need to be a good influence to people ahead of you, because sometimes they may look down to you. I mean, you get what I'm saying, Stu. They may look down to you for the way to live life or the way to do things right. And that's my whole message with that. Be a good example to somebody. Don't be out here showing them to steal. Don't be out here showing them to kill. Don't be showing these young dudes out here to be, plotting on females, trying to get females at 7 years old. Like, that's not how you do that. So make sure you be a good example to these ladies, so they know the right way to go, as well as male. Also, support women-run businesses.
Got to support them. You got to.
Stu, say it again for me, Stu. Say it again.
You got to support. And not just women-owned. Make sure you support the black women-owned, bro. Because black businesses have a hard time, but black women have a really hard time. Gotta spread the love to our black kings and queens who are out there struggling every day to bring y'all good products.
Most definitely. And for example, I just spent like $115. I just spent $115 on some t-shirts, but it was for a good cause, and it was because it's a young African American woman who is trying to do something good for herself. She's trying to run a business. She do design shirts. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give her a little shout out while we at it.
Go ahead, give her a shout out.
Her Instagram is CRWNME __ crown me 2 underscores. Y'all go check her out. She designs shirts. Whatever you want, she got you. So back on my point, support women black-owned businesses, because that's very important to us getting to where we're trying to go. It's very important, because financially, that goes a long way, because money runs the world. Economics runs the world. So with that being said, again, support these black-owned businesses, whether it's, buying a meal from them if they selling plates, whether they trying to wash your car. Go get your car washed one time. You see what I'm saying? Not saying you have to accept. If it's bad service, you don't have to go back again. Mm-hmm. But I want you to at least give it a chance.
Do it one time.
Exactly. And even if you don't like it, give them some input. Like, look, I don't like how you service me. I don't like how you did that. This is what you can do better.
Exactly.
Let me talk to you. This is how you can improve this. So let's go about this the right way. Support your own, and try to better your own. Stu, that's pretty much that's one of my points. You know, if you got something to feedback off of, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, man. Just thinking about our guests today and some things that we're talking about. Thinking about some of the guests we had on today's show. And I go back to Miss Michelle, what she was saying about women being the central. Women are the central to basically everything. You know, life came from God, but the first person that was born on this earth after God created was through a woman. And so everybody needs to realize the power of a woman is to multiply, to give life. The woman is the central authority of the household. The man may be the power figure in a good marriage in the household. The man may be the power figure. The man may be the person you look to through times of hard, through times where you need protection. The man is there. But when it comes to everyday life, when it comes to learning how to be compassionate, when it comes to learning how to cook, how to clean, when it comes to learning how to pick yourself up, like everything I know how to be a person, I learned from my mama. So yes, being from the woman is so crucial in the black family, especially nowadays where 70% or was it 75? It was 70 or 75% of black women are raising kids by themselves. So if you listen to this show, even if you got beef with your mama or your grandmama, if you got, just go say, hey, you know what? You did your best. That's all you can say. You thank you, mama. Thank you, grandma. You did your best. Thank you so much for weathering the storm and protecting me and raising me and teaching me how to make it the way you made it. Or how to make it the way you didn't make it. Whatever the case may be, good or bad. You must realize that women are the central figure. All of us, if not all of us, would not be where we are today. So, I love women, um, in both ways. In both ways. Um, I'm just lost for words now. So with that, you know, with what you said and with the guests here, and it seems like we don't got nobody who want to be on the show today. Don't nobody want to help join us. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna cut it just a little bit short here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Brothers of the Truth podcast. I'm your host, Stuart Miller.
And it's your other loving host, Aaron Thompson. Y'all have a blessed Sunday. Y'all start the next week off right. Tomorrow's Monday. Get that paper. You know, spread some love and peace, and let's improve this country and let's be better as people. But lastly, make sure y'all go follow and subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook pages. Our Facebook page is under Chopping It Up with Stu. Make sure y'all like that. Make sure y'all go on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube page, the True Brothers, and we love y'all, man. We got y'all Sunday with another banger. Let's get it.
Exactly. Like, hey, as my co-host said, he always says what I forget to say. With that, hey, make sure you guys go like, share, subscribe. Make sure, and if you are watching this right here on YouTube, give this video a like and a subscribe, a share. Make sure you share this to everybody. I mean, even though we about to go off live here, I still make sure I keep all the videos. I still make sure I keep everything so y'all can come back and watch it. You know, maybe I know we be doing hour-long episodes, 2-hour-long episodes, and so sometimes you may not have time to sit back and watch all of it. But you can always come back to it. You can always come back, and when you do, leave a comment on the page. Post what you think about it. And we need some help from y'all. We need some help to see what our next show is going to be about. Give us some comments. Let us know what you guys think. Are we stupid? Do we look stupid? Do you not like our content? Do you love our content? Let us know what you guys want, and we'll give it to you. Make sure you guys are taken care of. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this. Like he said, like, share, subscribe to this video. Facebook, thetruthbrothers.com. Truth Brothers Podcast. We love y'all always. Truth and love, and we out.
Yes, sir.